this is Nessa from Infinitely Zero's channel, here to show you a quick tutorial on beginning crochet, just some simple basic stitches to go through. I have my crochet hook here, which is a Clover Soft Touch. It's an I 5.5 millimeters, and I'm going to use some 100% acrylic yarn. This is a worsted weight category 4 yarn in the US a lot of times. That's printed here on the label with the recommended hook size. Just use that. I recommend something this thick or thicker. You can find it at Walmart, your local craft store like Joann's or Michael's, or even online on Amazon or a lot of other online places. Sometimes even the Dollar Tree has yarn and has hooks. So yeah, and I also recommend a lighter colored yarn so that you can see your stitches better as well, and have it to be solid color, because if it's changing color throughout, it could be a little confusing for you if you're just starting out. So I learned a really long time ago, about 35 plus years, from my grandmother's friend and my grandmother, so the way I do things might be a little antiquated. I am right-handed. I hold my yarn this way to control the tension, and I hold my hook like this. I think it's called pencil grip. Some folks hold it, like that, like knife hold. Whatever you do is what's more comfortable for you. And plenty of resources out there for you to look this up online, YouTube videos, crochet books. Go to your local library if you can't afford a crochet book or can't find it on websites. Yarnspirations has a lot of great information, even a section for beginning to learn to knit or crochet, as well as videos from the crochet crowd. So start off with what we call a slip knot, I believe. So you place the yarn over, this is how I do it. Place your yarn over your two fingers, loop it over, then you grab your tail end, place it through between both of your fingers, pass that through like a little loop, and then tighten like a little noose. And then you put your crochet hook through that top, and then you tighten that to make the loop smaller. That's how I do it. Make sure to not make this too short, because you will need to weave this in later on to secure your work and so that it doesn't unravel. What else did I want to mention? Yeah, there's plenty of different ways to do these different steps. So we're going to go over today just some basic steps of how to do the chain stitch, single crochet, and double crochet stitches. If you need to rewatch it, go right ahead. If you need to replay as well, if I'm going too fast or too slow, you can change the speed of the video with the little gear on the bottom of the screen for where you're watching the video. So yes, so also I recommend that with these stitches that you're learning, you practice until you get them right. Maybe make different squares with them. You can join them and make scarves or make blankets. Blankets is a little much for a beginner. Maybe just make squares. Later on, if you want, you can make them out of cotton and make them for dishcloths. It's recommended to only really use cotton for the kitchen, because 100% acrylic, if it's heated, will melt. So it is not a good thing to use for a hot pad. Cotton is a little finickier to work with because it doesn't stretch as much, so I wouldn't use it as your complete first yarn of choice if you're first learning off and trying to learn these basic stitches. Alrighty, so we're going to do chain stitches, which is that process of placing the yarn over the hook is called a yarn over. I will use that term a lot. And then crochet is pretty much a combination of wrapping yarn over this hook and passing the yarn through different loops to create different fabrics which look differently depending on the stitches you use. And a lot of the stitches use just these base stitches. They're the foundation of how you make other stitches. So we yarn over. We have now grabbed the yarn, onto the hook, and we're passing it through the loop, and that creates a chain. So now to make more chains, you do the same process. Sorry, that noise is my dog in the background on his dog bed and walking around. So these are the chains. Right here we have, this is the front or top side of the chain. This is the back side of the chain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do not count, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do not count the loop that is on the hook. Let's make a few more. And now many times this is what's called for the foundation. There may be other foundation stitches which are a little more advanced that you can use as well. So now when you start rows, a lot of times depending what stitches you're using is what the height of the stitch is. So that's how many chains you need at the beginning. So for example, the single crochet stitch is a lower stitch. The half double crochet is a little taller, so you would use 2 chains. The single crochet uses 1 chain usually for the corner. The double crochet would use 3 chains, and then there's a chain after that. That's the treble crochet, which is even taller, which sometimes uses 4. It can vary by pattern designer and by the pattern. By the way, these are all US terms, not UK terms. So there's a difference. They are called differently in the UK, but it's the same stitches. So they're single crochet. It's called in the US single crochet. In the UK is called double crochet. And you can look that up online. I'm not going to go into detail in this video, and I again will only be using US crochet terms. So now that we have some chains completed, we are going to go into the second chain from the hook to do a single crochet. So you now grab the head of the hook, you place it through the loop, grab your yarn, yarn over. You now have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and grab that yarn and pass it through both of those loops. And you have now created a single crochet at the edge. So we will make another one. Same process. Have the 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pass it through both loops. Very simple. You got this. And now that's your 3rd single crochet. And I will mention this, what's facing you, is considered the right side of the work, and this is considered the wrong side of the work. And in regular crochet, you turn sides and you work both sides when you get to the edge. Alrighty, let's do one more single crochet. You place the hook in the loop. You have now 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pass them both through. Now to do a half double crochet, you yarn over first. And that's the trick, the single crochet, you just put your tip of the hook into the loop of the chain. For the half double crochet, you yarn over first. You do the same process of putting the tip of the hook through the chain. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and you pass through all 3 loops at once. And that's a half double crochet. And we'll make another one. And a 3rd one. Yarn over and pass through all 3. Now to make a double crochet, you yarn over your hook. You place the head of your hook into the chain again. Grab your hook, yarn over, yarn through. Now you yarn over and you pass through, you have 3 loops on your hook, you pass through the first 2 only, and you leave 2 behind loops on your hook. Now you yarn over again and you pass through the next 2. And that's a double crochet. Here I'm going to do it a little faster. Sorry that yarn was getting in the way. Leave 2 and yarn over and leave another 2. And let's do one more. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pass through 2, yarn over, pass through 2. And to show you very quickly, a treble crochet, you yarn over twice on your hook, trying to keep that tension a bit on the tighter side. Put the head of the hook into the chain, grab your yarn, pass through that chain, yarn over, and now you're going to do these in sets of 2. So you have 5 loops on your hook. If you don't count the yarn over, it's 4. So have that yarn over. Now you only pass through 2 loops on your hook. So now you yarn over again, pass through the next 2 loops, and 2 loops remain, and you yarn over and pass through the last 2, which is why it's called treble, because you're doing that 3 times. And we'll do another one, another treble crochet, loop through, pass through, yarn over, pass 2, yarn over, pass 2, yarn over, pass 2. So that's everything I wanted to show you guys for today. And now if you wanted to go and start a new row, of course this one you can see the difference of the height of the stitches. These are your treble crochets, these 2. These were your double crochets. These are your half double crochets, and these were your single crochets. So we could, let's say, just do a row of single crochets. You would chain 1, turn and flip your work. Your stitches, that's the top of your stitch, is these 2 here. You see that? Whoops. It's these 2 here. So that's usually where you place your hook to then do a single crochet. You grabbed the yarn there, now yarn over and then pass it through both the loops, and you did a single crochet at that edge. And then you do the same thing for your next single crochet, and you continue on whatever the pattern says for what those stitches are. Of course, these are going to be different because I have different heights here. Again, with usually you place your hook below both of these little loops, which is the top of your stitch, but sometimes the pattern will call for back loop, and this is front loop. So the front loop is this loop, the one always closest to you, and the back loop is the one farthest from you of how your work is facing you. So I hope that helps. I hope that's everything for today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything like that. And then by unraveling, you just gently pull on the work and it just unravels. How fun is that? So, this is also called frogging. So, okay. Thanks. Have a good night. If you like the content, please click like and subscribe on my channel. Bye.